Trying to get the horn line all up on these props was crazy, but you know, the smell from sustain, and they were very unashamed playing that, that's for sure. My name is Bryan Warfield. I'm the co-brass caption head of the Mandarin's Drum and Bugle Corps. And all this was like definitely a mood setter. It's like Tron meets the Army. This kid, Gio, so he had zero drum corps experience. He actually came from a show style band somewhere in California, and his only experience was with us, but he is a phenomenal musician. But it's a way to start the show. I mean, if you're gonna start with the soloists, they probably should be pretty good. We were adamant that our brass program were at every visual rehearsal throughout the entire spring training part of it. So, you know, we would be there if it's a 4-hour block, we'd be there for 3 of those 4 hours, you know, or 2 of those 3 hours, whatever the case is, so that we knew what was going in the show, when and where, and that would also guide what we would do in our part of that rehearsal day. Okay, so we may have gone through probably 20 or 30 different versions of that trombone feature between March and what this ended up becoming, and it was really hard at first. And probably half the section were all baritone players, so getting them to play anything that was remotely technical was a really big challenge throughout the entire summer. But we eventually got there, and they nailed it. But it was a daily process. A daily project. This is the first time we got to do just straight up drum corps. This march drill, play loud, do all that. We would set up, instead of our normal arcs or circle, we'd set the horn line up in a stacked block, with the tubas being in the front. And so any ensemble director, conductor is always going to want that bass sound to be in the back so people can listen back. Well, now that bass sound's in front and the highest voice is all the way in the back. So who do you listen to, and how do you go about balancing the horn line that way? So that was one challenge. Then you're taking a tenor voice and putting them off on the side. Yeah, and the membership by this point is just super gassed, kind of run around all over the place, but that was definitely that's a hype for sure. And then having to change into this really delicate moment with the horn line was another pretty interesting challenge, and trying to get the militaristic side over here and the free side. We're finally breaking into the other side of the wall. Yeah. And of course, like the moment of the year, so the soloist, his name's Charles, he's one of my tuba guys, and he was nails pretty much all summer. You know, teaching, you know, this idea of being like a championship level drum corps, that had its own challenges, but it was also a lot of fun because none of us had ever been there before, you know, as an entity. So, you know, just building a culture of excellence, that was really kind of #1, and sounding great while doing that.
Tangle me up in your vine. Take my spirit, take my mind. Take me over to that other side.
And this was another thing that was really hard too. It's just that, again, we got these pockets that are being traded around just across the field, and listening environment challenges and whatnot. Trying to get the horn line all up on these props was crazy, but you know, the smell from sustain, and they were very unashamed playing that, that's for sure. That's cool. All right, well,
Ladies and gentlemen,
that was the
at
show.
direction of J.W. Kester from Sacramento, California.
And their show's pretty cool. It's really special because the horn line grew so much throughout the summer. I mean, there was nothing to lose for sure, but you know, the membership really wanted to do well, and we knew we had something special. Right, I think the family day, maybe a few days before the first actual competition, we knew the show was pretty cool, and it just got better every day of the summer. And the nice thing about that is that we can build off of that going into the next season. A lot of those members that are in that horn line, they're all planning to come back, and we're just going to keep building the brass program up.